Hey everybody, Ashley with Techno Buffalo. I just wanted to take over John's review of the Oppo Find 5. So I have it here with me. I've only had it for 2 days because I've only been here for 2 days. So I'm gonna give you my first impressions and then I promise I will have a full review up as soon as I can. Let's check it out. Okay, so we have the Oppo Find 5 here. We talked already in the unboxing about the lovely design quality. It's kind of reminiscent of the older Xperia phones. I've been hanging out with it the last day or so since I got here, and I have a couple of thoughts on it. The first thing you'll notice about the Oppo is obviously the UI. The Android skin that they've chosen to put on is, it's a little remedial. This calendar widget is, I just find the widgets to be just a little bit kind of amateur compared to a TouchWiz or even especially Sense. Well, obviously with the widgets, you can always install something like Beautiful Widgets, HD Widgets, any widget app of choice and just get rid of these, which is really nice. And I'll talk a little bit about CyanogenMod in a second. The phone itself, though, runs really responsively. It's a quad-core processor. It's running on a Qualcomm Snapdragon Pro. It's got 2 gigs of RAM. It's running Android 4.1.2, so almost the most current version of Jelly Bean, but not quite. I know that Oppo is promising rapid software updates. That kind of remains to be seen at this point, but yeah, the screen is absolutely gorgeous. 1080p, 441 ppi. It's an IPS LCD screen. It doesn't get super bright, but it is visible in broad daylight, which is nice, and the images are very clear. I love the almost edge-to-edge screen here. It's a 5-inch screen, so you're definitely carrying around quite a bit of phone in your pocket if that's what you're into. Let's take a look really quickly at the camera, which I'm really interested in. I love camera apps, and I like how different they are. So you can see with the shutter, it's very quick. And once you go into your gallery, I'll show you some of the stuff that I took at my desk earlier. So I've got my iCade, my Nyan Cat, and my robot. So it's very quick shutter quality. The one nice thing about Oppo's camera software is they have this really sort of lovely editing features where they have things like fill light, highlights, shadows, and they're actually really nice sliders. That's the auto fix there. But if I wanted to emphasize the highlights, I could do that with a slider. If I wanted to add some more shadow, I could also do that. So I like that. They also have different FX, so very Instagram-ish. You can do your vignettes, all those sorts of things. And there's also, of course, warmth, saturation, all those great things that you see. A little bit more granular than Instagram, but generally speaking, pretty robust. I like it. I do miss Photosphere, I will admit that. But I guess that's on Google and not on all of the other OEMs putting Android on their phones. Now the phone itself is actually unlocked. It's available on AT&T and T-Mobile. It starts at $499. There's a 16 gig and a 32 gig option. There is no expandable memory though. That is something that you might have a problem with. There's also no LTE on this phone, so you cannot actually utilize LTE. I do think upon first impression, putting CyanogenMod on this phone would actually be really great, and it's something that you would probably really enjoy. I'm sure the screen would look gorgeous with some of the different ROMs that are out there. I definitely don't see any feature yet that I would really miss if I rooted it and flashed a different ROM on it, as opposed to, say, the HTC One, which I would definitely miss things like video highlights. Well, so far, the Oppo Find 5, it feels like a really solid phone. I think there's a lot of good things about it. Unfortunately, it kind of feels like it was built with an entirely different market in mind, which is probably the case because this phone is going to be really popular in China. I'm not sure why it was brought over here to the States, but at the end of the day, I'm sure of course, it'll have its pros and cons, and I get to now review this phone, so I'm sorry it'll take me just a little bit longer. I know that John was supposed to review it, but I took it over. I took the phone from him because I thought it looked really cool, so I will be bringing you a review as soon as I can, as soon as I unlock all of the Find 5 secrets. But for now, that's my initial impressions, my hands-on, and if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will try to answer them in the review. Thanks!